Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I am here to give a little Real Housewives of Potomac extra. Everyone today has been commenting on the Robyn Dixon story. Robyn did a Patreon to make herself sound extremely foolish. Girl, we're going to get into that. I did not pay for the Patreon, but thank you to all the YouTubers who did that allowed me to listen and not have to pay my own $5 because I wasn't gonna pay no way. Um, Nene Leaks gave Robyn and Giselle a little bit of shade that I was all the way here for. And I have a story about Katie and Charisse. And I don't know if I should tell it because I was not in the Twitter space room, but I feel like I can still spill it if I say allegedly. Maybe. But hey, Inga. Hey, Andrew. Welcome to the video. I don't know where I want to start. I thought Derek was going to come join me. He might pop up later on. If he does, we'll get his 2 cents. But let's just get started into the situation. I have notes. Oh, even Carlos King. Carlos King has some words for Robyn and Giselle. I want to talk about all of it and give my 2 cents. I don't know about you all. I hope you're in the house. I hope you're safe. I hope you're warm. It is raining ice out here in Memphis. So I'm stuck in the house. So I got on my toasty Christmas one piece pajamas. You can't see the whole thing, but I feel warm and comfortable where I just want to talk about it. I can't go nowhere. So we might as well talk about Giselle and Robyn. Okay. Where do I want to start? So, if you didn't know, oh yes, Carlos went in. Carlos went in, but Carlos, you sound a little bit hypocritical because the shows you produce follow the same standards of Real Housewives of Potomac. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in my notes. I hope Karen kept her foot on Robyn's. I'm not gonna call Robyn Robert. Robyn, I will call Giselle my dragon. This reunion coming up. Maybe if we listen to Candace and what she said on Watch What Happens Live, she said Mia was the one who had a hard time during the reunion. Mia was in the hot seat, and again, another opportunity for Robyn and Giselle not to be held accountable. Um, Robyn and Giselle needed to be in the hot seat, but I feel like Robyn is Robyn is dumb, but she ain't a dummy, if that makes sense. Because Robyn knew not to admit to knowing about this affair until after the reunion was taped. She was smart enough to do that, but she a dummy because no, she dumb. I said Robyn is dumb, but she not a dummy. Okay, so she dumb because the way she's sounding, she sounds like an idiot. She sound like somebody, which is the title of my video. That's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. I don't care what he out there doing. I'm sticking beside him. But anyway, let's start. So this all started when Giselle and Robyn were on their podcast, and Robyn admitted to knowing about the cheating allegations between Juan and this lady who lives in Canada. Now, this lady who lives in Canada, because I got my Patreon tea from Make It Make Sense on YouTube. If you want to watch this video, it's not a long video, it's like 30 minutes. Make It Make Sense on YouTube. He paid for the Patreon, so I heard the full story there. But I heard the snippets of what Robyn said on Reasonably Shady via Instagram. It was all over Instagram. You can't miss it. So Robyn admitted to knowing about the affair. The woman does not have blonde hair. The woman looks absolutely nothing like Karen. Karen, it's disrespectful to say this woman looks like you. I think Karen is gorgeous. This woman is just a beautiful lady in Canada. She's not ugly, but she's not Karen Huger either. But anyway, that has nothing to do with nothing. Um, Robyn says go to her Patreon and she will give you all the details. But what she gave us on, and I played this at the beginning of my Potomac video, what she gave us on reasonably shady was she knew about it. Juan was an idiot and he was lonely during the pandemic, and that's why he had these conversations with this woman, because Robyn doesn't think that Juan slept with this woman, but I can tell you 100% common sense facts that he slept with this woman. Now, let's say, now everyone had hard times in their relationship during the pandemic, but to me, if my spouse is lonely, bored during the pandemic, we probably had the most sex. It wasn't nothing else to do. We couldn't go outside. The most you could go to was the grocery store, maybe the Walgreens. It wasn't like you could walk the mall or go to the movies or even go to a concert. So all you had to do was throw on a thong and please your man, and your man please you, because it goes both ways. That's all we did during the pandemic because there wasn't nothing else to do. So I don't understand how your man was so unsatisfied when you were in the house with him. How did he have all of this time to be emotionally cheating on you? And they say emotional affairs are the worst kind of affairs because their heart is in it. It's not just I hit it and quit it. They're getting something emotionally from another woman that he can't get from you, and you sit in two bedrooms down the hall. I heard they were all hanging up on Karen this reunion. They were all ganging up on Karen. Um I'm sure Karen had her moments. I'm sure everyone had their moments, but we shall see. They literally filmed the reunion on January 19th. Right. If Robyn would have put her truth out before the reunion film, oh, that's ammunition. And I can't wait to see how she handles this at the reunion because it's going to be brought up. Is she going to admit to, yeah, I knew about it and all this bullshit she said on Patreon at the reunion? Or is she still going to be deny, and talking about blue eyes? Hey, Angie, I just messaged you on Instagram to give you some information. Okay, thank you so much, Dan. I will be looking at that as soon as I sign off of here. I agree with you, Inga. I'm about to get into Carlos King. Let's talk about what Robyn talked about first. Then we're going to get into what the lady said. And then we're going to get into what Carlos said. And then we're going to get into what Nene said. It's all hilarious. So up first, Robyn points out that Juan paid for this girl's hotel room because she was at the casino and lost her wallet. The backstory. Everything Robyn said on Patreon sounds like what a guilty man would say to his dumbass girlfriend that's going to believe anything that he says. And she repeats to her girlfriend, and we all the girls at home like, oh, girl, if you like it, I love it. It's your man, not mine. That's the whole Patreon. And for the fact that not Nene, but Giselle was in her amen corner, it just tells me how big of a fool Giselle was when Jamal was telling her the ABCs of what he was doing down at the church in the pews. Two fools helping each other. But anyway, the backstory. This girl lives in Canada. Now, these are Robyn's words, not mine, and I'm paraphrasing them. Again, if you want to hear her say it herself, go to Make It Make Sense on YouTube, because he paid for the Patreon, not me. Now, Robyn says the girl lives in Canada. During the pandemic, Juan was bored and they would message each other back and forth via Instagram. But we know that's a lie because they were texting each other. So somewhere from Instagram, it went to each other's phones. They exchanged phone numbers at some point during the pandemic. At the point where flights started to happen and things started to lift, probably 2021, the girl says she had a boyfriend who played for the Baltimore Ravens, and she was coming to the United States, going to LA, and then coming to visit her boyfriend in Baltimore. For some reason, the girl, I couldn't make sense of if the girl was telling Robyn this or if this is what Juan was telling Robyn, but either way, it all sounds dumb. So the girl is in the Baltimore, DC area. And when she's in the area, instead of her communicating with her boyfriend who plays football, she's going back and forth with Juan, communicating with him about what Robyn didn't say. But the girl said to Juan she lost her wallet in the casino and didn't have the money to pay for night 2 of her stay. She paid for night 1, but she didn't have the money to pay for night 2. Now look, this is where Robyn, you sound like a fucking idiot. It's been 10 minutes. I could curse. You sound like a damn fool. You yourself has checked into numerous of hotels. Numerous. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've been broke all your life. I don't know. But the one thing you do when you check into a hotel, all of them that I've been to, the very first thing when you get to that desk, can we have a credit card and put it on file? Because we don't want no confusion when it's time to check out. Most hotels put a hold on your credit or debit card for your stay. And then when you check out, the money is already gone. Oh, here goes Derek. Let's get into it. Hey, Derek.
Hey, I had to adjust myself and get my headphones together. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
How are you doing? I'm happy I have someone to discuss this week because I was just getting ready to get into the foolishness that is Robyn Dixon and how dumb she is. I was just getting into the credit card receipts of it all. So I'm
Oh,
gonna finish talking about this credit card receipt, and then I want to know
are you
on a
talking about the hotel receipt?
yes,
Oh,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how dumb is she for repeating this? Okay, so we all know the first thing you do when you check into a hotel is give them your credit card. So,
yep.
lost wallet or not, your credit card is already at the hotel. So, the fact that you believed Juan walked his ass to the hotel to pay for night 2 because she lost her wallet, you are a complete idiot. And then fact number 2, if she was in town to visit her boyfriend that's in the NFL, why is her credit card even coming out? Why her man ain't pay for her room? Robyn.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. We're speaking about the mistress, right? Like this is in
Yeah.
regards to
This is what Robyn said on her Patreon. She's explaining why
her
Juan paid for
Patreon.
her hotel room because you can't deny the receipt. So she's explaining why Juan's name is on a hotel room receipt for this woman. She claims the woman lost her credit card and couldn't pay for the second night. So Juan went down there and paid for the room. And then for Robyn to explain away the homies can't, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. The girl said Juan likes to pass the penis around amongst his friends, pass the vagina around amongst his
Oh,
friends.
I was about to say because hold on, because now that would further confirm the Michael Darby allegations.
I meant to say vagina. So Robyn said on the Patreon, mind you, I didn't pay for the Patreon. I went to Make It Make Sense. on YouTube. He paid for the Patreon and let us listen for free. Um, Robyn says the girl propositioned herself to Juan, and Juan said, "No, I got Robyn at home. I don't want none of your vagina, but my homeboy is here. You can have sex with him." And the girl has sex with his friend, not Juan. But Juan paid for the hotel room. Like, if the friend was gonna get the vagina, why the friend ain't pay for the room? None of it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to me, but I do have a question. Did she so he found out, excuse me, she found out because the girl came forward?
The Robyn said she knew about this situation. I agree, KR. Robyn thinks we dumb, but we not Robyn Dixon. We got our own brain. We not living through Giselle and her foolishness. But anyway, the girl told Robyn about this situation months ago. Now, what I do believe that Robyn said is the girl tried to blackmail them. I do believe that, but I believe she tried to blackmail y'all because she had sex with your fiance.
Well, it would have been smart for Mrs. Dixon to check because I'm assuming that they have access to each other's accounts. And I would think that she would check for a credit card charge from a hotel.
She did. Oh, she said that in the Patreon. She said Juan didn't pay for the flight because she checked the credit card receipt and that wasn't his credit card for the flight. But you don't know that. The girl could have paid for the flight and Juan could have cashed out her the money back. You don't know what he paid for. But
But he was paying for something.
she couldn't deny the hotel room because that was his debit card. She confirmed that that was his debit card on the hotel room. And that's when she proceeded to tell us about the lost wallet and the friend having sex, not Juan having sex. I said, Robyn, you sound like a fool.
But I the thing that confuses me the most is even if you knew all of this stuff and you know this stuff is going on behind closed doors, why? Because it's like, well, you know what? I take that back because the woman said that I take that back because the woman did say that she had proof. So, and she did. Apparently, she told Robyn that she wanted to get famous, but I don't know how true any of that shit is.
That's the only part I do believe. I do believe the woman said, because Robyn said the woman asked for $4,000. It was like, pay me $4,000. I'm going to leak these receipts. And of course, they didn't pay. And Robyn was like, I was nice to the girl because I didn't want her to leak it, but we didn't send her the money either. But let's go ahead and bring Nene in it. Let's put Nene in for herself.
Because she sure was on the Breakfast Club. What? Gagging her and Giselle. That was so funny.
I was hollering because I listened to it while I was at work. Now I was working from home, but I was still hollering. Nene is reading the story and she was like, they famous? And I was like, Nene, please read. Please read, because Robyn, who are you? Now, Giselle, I understand. Giselle, as much as I hate to say it, Giselle and Karen are the faces of Potomac. That's who you know when you think about Real Housewives of Potomac. Girl, we propositioning for you to be fired every season. You are not famous.
She's supposed to be Giselle's sidekick.
Nene came for their throats. She said the starless, and I thought she was saying starlet.
She sure did, Andrew.
Like,
she sure did.
Starless. I said, Nene, please read them. And you notice no one has addressed Nene today.
Because I can't. She is not affiliated with Bravo and several other entities as well. So them speaking on her is not good for them. She can speak on them because it's kind of like she don't watch, but it's like she see what's on the timeline. She's not really, a part of that entity anymore. So she could really say whatever. And I think I'm happy for Nene. If we go talk about stars, that is a star. You could say what you
Nene
want
is a
about
star.
Miss Leaks, but when you think of real, I would not know anything about Real Housewives of anything if it were not for Lanithia Monique Leaks.
Oh, I did not know her middle name was Monique.
It is.
Okay, Nene. I appreciated Nene saying what everyone else
Was
is thinking.
thinking.
Like, girl, you're not famous. Nobody exposing Juan is like exposing the guy across the street. Nobody cares.
Michael Darby.
And you have been exposing your fiance since season one. You've been telling us how he been stepping out on you the whole time, but now you want us to believe he didn't step out?
Her storylines are just like it's embarrassing, and it's embarrassing for a check. And I really hate that for her. I really hate that for her. Like
I
you.
don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I don't hate it for her. Because they spent all season trying to fake infidelities
Yeah.
and improper encounters on husbands who haven't done nothing to nobody. So now that your husband is out here, we at least know he paying for hotel rooms. I believe he paid for everything. But now that your husband is really doing something, you ain't got nothing to say. And one thing that I listened to YouTuber Make It Make Sense. One thing that he said while he was playing the Patreon that I agree with, Robyn, you would have looked 10 times better if you would have sat while you was trying to sit down with Candace and talk about what Chris wasn't doing. You should have
Right.
sat down with Giselle and said, look, this is what's going on between this girl and Juan, and he had a little situation. However, you wanted to spin it, but you should have just told your own tea on the show. That way, when Karen comes out, episode 15, talking about it's a lady that looked like her, Karen looks the fool because you've already explained yourself and told your side of the story.
But she waited till after that episode when the season's
Right.
finna be over, when the reunion finna come up. Like it is unfortunate. It is embarrassing. I don't we don't know what to do with the Dixons, honestly.
We could fire them.
We could fire them. That is we. I would like to see fresh blood anyway, because it's getting we listen. We're over Ashley and her storyline with Michael Darby and deciding if she want to be with this man or not. Listen, Ashley, the only reason why you want to be with that man is because he got the money and you don't have anything.
But she has Bravo. Like Ashley has been there since season one. Ashley has money.
Yeah, she has money because of Bravo.
I agree. We could throw them in the trash.
We could absolutely.
Because if the T, not the T, but if the allegations against Juan are true, they are just allegations. But if they are true with this lawsuit, Juan is trash. So throw both of them in the trash.
Mm, 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 mm.
But we know if you're not willing to talk about this little affair, they damn sure not about to talk about this lawsuit. So Robyn can just go sit at home. Sit at home with your husband and worry about the next bitch on Instagram
Ah!
about to get too. Because he's definitely about to be jobless and bored all over again.
Can we talk about the I don't even want to say attacks because they're not even really attacks. Can we talk about the mild pillow throwing that the Cookie Monster has been doing towards Candace and Chris?
Is she still throwing
She's
that?
she's she's throwing pillows, talking about yes, your man has been in a way. in contact and dealing with me and whoopty whoop, and she's posting it all on Instagram, and she's posting it on, and like she's doubling down on it, and I just find that very embarrassing for her.
Are her facts, are her receipts factual or just
She doesn't
allegations?
have any.
Oh, Deborah, as nicely as I can say this,
You
we
don't.
have seen multiple pictures of your girlfriend. Sit down and enjoy the husband that does want you and shut up before he doesn't want you anymore. Because what kind of woman is pressed about what another man wanting them or not when you got a husband sitting at home?
Yeah, that's that's sad. That's very sad.
Be happy
All for a check,
somebody wanted you.
all for a check, and not a main cast member check, and not really even a friend of check, but a guest check.
Right. $200 for showing up. That's it.
Like if we're gonna go through the friend ofs and the guests of this season and really promote somebody, the one only person I'll give it to for this season, honestly, is Jacqueline. I think I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Jacqueline can stay at home. Please bring a scholar back on the show.
Well, we have Wendy, but everybody has their. I like Wendy. I don't know about a lot of other people. I know Wendy gets a lot of like mixed reviews and mixed criticisms, but I like Wendy.
I fought for Wendy, and for Wendy to turn around and have me fight for her
Oh, are
and
we about
kiss
to die?
Mia in the mouth, I don't I don't respect that. Like, ma'am, I fought for you. When everybody else was like, you're aggressive, you were aggravate or agitating the situation, I was calling out the colorism. I was speaking the facts for you. And I will continue to do that because I will always speak up for what I feel is right. But for you to turn around and kiss this woman in the mouth and maybe flash vaginas, I don't know. I
Well, I don't believe that because Mia's a known liar. So
But Ashley said it. I believe what Ashley said. Ashley said they were all drunk
yeah, Ashley
and they
don't really
all were
lie.
not wearing panties. So they decided to flash vaginas to be like, girl, I ain't wearing panties neither. Now, I don't think Wendy spread eagle for me. I don't believe that. But let me tell you something. When an enemy is in my circle, I'm not getting drunk. Because bitch, you done already threw a drink at me, a purse at me, and a cell phone. I'm gonna be sober because I'm already set on ready in case you act up again. I'm not kikiing and getting drunk around nobody that has assaulted me.
That's fair. No, I agree.
And that whack ass apology talking about, girl, maybe you were just insecure. Insecure about what?
Well,
I agree with Andrew. Wendy has millions more things going on than her other housewives, which is probably why this avenue of fame is not for you because eventually the mess is going to cross the line and John Hopkins is going to be like, no, ma'am. And CNN is going to be like, no, ma'am. And now you stuck being messy on Bravo. I would stick with the avenues of fame where you could actually use your degrees. Be smart on television on CNN. Don't declass yourself with this show because one thing Carlos said, let's get into what Carlos said. He says, no one on the show is showing their real life. This show is more about exposing each other than exposing our real lives. Now, what I don't agree with, he said the only real people on this show are Candace, Wendy, and Mia. Mia didn't have to be on the list. She lies the most. Maybe Ashley. I feel like Ashley it shows her real life, good or bad. But
Ashley shows her real life, and I haven't really seen her. I haven't really seen her tell a lie per se. I have seen her. I do think she exaggerates some things, but I don't think she lies. However, Ashley is, how do I explain this? She comes across as very entitled, and she I don't really, to be honest, I don't feel like she holds her own very well.
What's unfortunate about this show? Now, Carlos said something. Tell me if you've heard this before. He said, because I took notes.
She
He said,
took no. She done brought out the yellow paper.
and I didn't want to say anything wrong that Carlos said. Carlos said Giselle was an EP. Is she an executive producer of this show? Does she get producer credit?
I don't believe that, and I need to see. I need to do some research if that's true, because I, first of all, I don't believe that, because if she was an EP, she'd be finding more ways to show her life. The only thing that I have seen from Giselle for real this season is the birthday party with her daughters, and that's the only credit I can give her as being a good mother. That's really
That's it.
it. That's really it for her. If she was an EP, a real EP, because if we're gonna talk about EPs, let's talk about EPs real quick. A EP is, and I don't know if y'all watch the Ghetto Ratchet Lightning Network.
No,
Um,
I don't.
but but even
Okay.
though
Inga said he was joking. Okay.
I
So go ahead.
was gonna say Natalie Nunn is an EP.
Mm-hmm.
She knows, even though people don't like her, they think she's ratchet and she has no class. One thing Natalie Nunn has done is get her a bag
She has.
and put on a show. Two great things that she can do, and I have to hand it to her, whether you like her or not. Giselle, however, cannot do the same thing, and I still would like to know what Andy finds so fascinating about her, and what he finds so fascinating about her to even have first chair every season at the reunion.
I would like to know that as well, because that's why I was wondering if she really was an EP. Because Giselle reminds me of Shawnee O'Neal, and I hate Shawnee O'Neal equally as much as I hate Giselle Bryant. Shawnee was the EP creator of Basketball Wives, and she never put her business in the street. All she did was roll around the show in tacky fashions,
Oh my god.
looking down on people, letting her minions, Evelyn, and at one time Tammy, run down on people for entertainment. And that's what Giselle does. She sits around in her tacky fashions, adding her 2 cents to the bullshit, but letting Robyn and Ashley run down on people and destroy people's true lives because she doesn't want to display any of her. Well, she doesn't have a life.
Yeah, she don't. She got two kids, a podcast, and what else? And Bravo.
And for the life of me, who was listening to this podcast?
Who is listening to? Maybe people kind of just listening, because see, the thing is with with podcasts, I don't know, they need something a little more private, and they need something with encryption, because for somebody to be able to go and record your podcast and put it all over Twitter, like we don't have to listen to your podcast to get the quote unquote tea.
Because I sure don't. I couldn't even tell you how to type it in my phone to find it. Across Twitter or Instagram, I don't know what they're talking about.
A whole bunch of nothing. They ain't really talking about. What are they really talking about though?
But back to Andy liking Giselle. Carlos put this in his video as well, because I took my notes. Carlos said allegedly, and I believe it because I've said it before as well. One of the ladies told him that they meet up every season before they start shooting to decide on the season's storylines, and that Chris Bassett was going to be the target in the storyline for the season. And I believe it because Candace alluded to it about the Monique situation. Monique has said it before. And so I do believe that the ladies sit up with Giselle every season and decide who they want to expose, what they want to talk about. And that's going to be the exciting moments of the season. So I believe they said we're going to come at Chris Bassett and we're going to try to tear down Karen. I believe that's what they decided that season 7 was going to be about. But where I'm going to call Carlos King a hypocrite is he's talking about that's not reality TV. But I'm like, that's all they do over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville is
Yeah.
who husband cheating on who with what woman. So I'm like, you can't say one thing about Potomac and not realize that's what Huntsville is doing. Your main characters of Huntsville. And he did also say this is the worst season of Potomac.
Not the worst season.
That was Carlos's words, not mine.
Not the worst season of. Wow. You know what?
But
I disagree, but
you think they sit around and just try to expose each other, or do they really try to give any of their real life?
wait, wait. I'm sorry. Read that again.
Do you think the ladies of Potomac sit around and try to expose each other, like tear each other down, or do you think they're really trying to show parts of their real life?
Okay. Let's go down the line.
Okay.
Um, I do believe that Candace is genuinely there. She everything with her is very authentic. It flows very well. Her life flows very well. Her reads flow very well. Her storylines make sense. So she's good. I feel the same way about Karen. She shows her real life. She gives good reads. Like she's good TV. Um, I cannot say the same for Giselle. I do feel like once the storyline of her and Pastor Holy Whore kind of just passed on, that should have really been the end of the road for her because she has this entire season she hasn't shown anything. And I was having conversations with people before about this. Like, I was like, Giselle's kind of taking a back seat. You know why she's taking a back seat? Because she has nothing to show. She
Okay.
has nothing to show. I think that um Robyn is just kind of exposing herself more so just to keep some money in her pocket. I don't really think she doesn't have she has no story. She has no they like I don't know. I'm gonna start having conspiracy theories. So we have to move on from Miss Dixon because she done told all her business and she done put herself out there and it's a little too much for me. I just it's giving me a headache. You know that the confessional Karen did where she said she needs a Tylenol and Excedrin. That's what I need right now. Talking about Robyn's storylines. I agree with you about Wendy. I do think this isn't particularly the show for her. She would be great, like not saying that she can't be a housewife, but I do feel like she shouldn't be pushed to certain lengths, and that Mia one was a very close call for her. Cause and I'm glad she got some self control, which is something that a lot of them don't have. But I'm very glad that Mrs. Osefo has some self control because she can lose a lot just from being on this show. She has to carry herself in a certain way, and I she just needs she if she's gonna do reality TV, then she should be on a different show, something that's a little less I don't want to say ratchet because I'll never say Housewives is really ratchet compared to some other shows. But I want good things for her. I want good things for her.
I agree. Andrew from the chat wants to join. I want to hear what he has to say. But I have a question for you and Andrew.
Okay.
Do you think real life is boring? Because I think of myself, I feel like I'm a little bit quirky and I have my ways that could be entertaining maybe on YouTube. But if you put a camera in my face and you see my real life, it's kind of boring. So is real life boring, and are people putting on airs for these reality shows for the entertainment of it all? Because most people don't live a life centered around drama and the makeup to break up, even in friendships. Like most people in real life, if you throw a drink on me, bitch, I ain't talking to you again. But
Yeah.
because you have to work with this person, you got to make up and try to film. So I feel like you can't 100% give your real life on these shows because real life is boring. In real life, we cut people off. What
Yeah.
I'm going to add up Andrew, but tell me what you think about that.
Um, I just feel like people. Hello, Andrew.
Hey guys,
Hey,
How
Andrew.
are you?
good. Can you hear me? I might sound a little bit weird.
No, you sound
I can
perfect.
hear you. You sound perfectly
Okay,
fine.
because Railroad Track Next is getting on my last nerve. She
Oh,
needs to get fired. Robert, aka Robyn, needs to just go in the
Robert.
trash. Like
Robert.
she tried it. Like Forehead, aka Ashley, needs to get a better storyline, or she needs to get better with Candace. Like, no.
Candace said on Watch What Happens Live, after this reunion, her and Ashley
Hmm.
are done. Like her and Ashley are done.
I don't blame her.
And it's kind of see, Ashley probably would have did a lot better and probably would have had a storyline next season, or even a contract for next, because I don't feel like Ashley's coming back, but I could be wrong. However,
Back. She got a house to pay for. She'll be back.
Mm-mm.
but
That's shady.
will Bravo and Andy and affiliates allow her to be back? Because what does she have to show?
I would fire Robyn and Giselle before I fire Ashley. Ashley is way more entertaining and gives us way
Right.
more than those two.
I agree, but Andy's not gonna fight. I don't know if what kind of relations that Andy and Giselle are having, but something apparently is there to the point where Giselle is
Mm-mm.
always first chair. She's very important to Andy. They have this very great, amazing, outstanding relationship. I don't know what that is, but
Andy
um
fired Nene, and he loved Lanithia Leaks,
he
and he
did.
fired her as well. So Giselle could
Mm-mm.
go. Being friends with Andy means nothing. Andy loved Vicky. Andy loved a lot of the OGs, but where are they sitting? At home.
Yikes.
Right.
That's
Mm-mm.
that's that's very true. I don't. I will say I'm not expecting Mia back next season. I heard she had a bad reunion. Everybody is saying she had a bad reunion. Um, I I I, I don't know. It's not that I feel bad for her, but it's kind of like she needs another show to be on. I think what show were you just talking about? Where
Married to
everybody's
Medicine?
is that the show she was just talking about them sleeping with each other's husbands and wives and all this sleeping around. Mia would do great on that show. Mia would do really good on that show because she always talking about, well, me and my friend, and then
Should
me and
maybe she
my
needs to find a
husband.
place to live into first.
Well, she just moved in that penthouse, so we don't know about that. I don't think she's gonna be
Yeah.
leaving there no time soon. But maybe she can get her like a little extended stay or something, and have a
Not
nice little
extended stay.
a nice little setup, for a few weeks and just film here and there. Um, I'm ready for some new blood. I would like to see
Should
some.
bring Katie back.
You know what?
Oh,
Love Katie.
So
You
she was in a lot. She alive. Excuse me.
are
She
you
was
about
a
to talk about the space?
yeah. I was
Okay,
actually in the space for a little bit.
so you heard it, so I don't have to say allegedly because you heard it.
No, say it anyway because I we might be. I'm not sure if we're thinking of the same thing here.
Okay, so allegedly, now you know one of my Twitter friends, you know the Twitter friend I'm talking about, Derek, had to tell me what went down in this space. So Katie was on a Twitter space and she was explaining, talking about the ladies of the cast, who she likes and who she doesn't like. I've never heard this story, but allegedly, Katie said she had sex with Charisse.
Mm-mm. And you know what? I don't think she would lie about that.
Now, Katie said it on the space, and our Twitter friend heard it on that space, but I
Well, I
was
think I also believe that space was recorded as well.
it wasn't recorded because I went back to look. It wasn't
Oh,
recorded.
I thought it was recorded. I could have sworn it was recorded. Maybe I'm
Now,
seeing
the first thing
things.
I did is I went to Google because I wanted to know. I've never heard of this, but why hadn't anybody else said anything? So I went to Google, and an article in 2021 came up that said Real Housewives of Potomac, Sharice Jackson and Katie Rose had a lesbian hookup. Now, the article was very messy. It did say that Katie was drunk. On the space, Katie admitted that she was drunk. In the article, Katie said she was proud of the sex they had with each other, but in the space, allegedly, Katie said she felt like Sharice took advantage of her being drunk. I don't get lesbian from Sharice, do you?
Um,
Or bisexual. Like, I don't get that from Sharice.
I don't. I um. I don't know how to respond to that only because I don't see it for her.
For which one, Sharice?
Charisse, she just it's not that she couldn't be because I think sexuality is a spectrum.
It is.
Anybody can, you might say, well, I don't like this, that, and the third, and then you have a razzle dazzle with a good friend, and now you're questioning everything. So I'm not gonna say that it didn't happen because I also don't believe Katie's a liar. However, it's hard for me to believe that Charisse is somebody who does fondling and does all of these things. I don't know. I don't. I'm on the fence about it.
And like you said, it is a spectrum. I just don't get that vibe from Sharice, but Katie said it out of her own mouth on the space.
She
So
did.
that's that. But I would love to see Katie come back to the show. Katie, to me, is one of the few women that gathers everyone on the cast. And they kind of blow Katie off like, oh, Katie is drunk or Katie is crazy or whatever. But Katie gathers these ladies in a hilarious way that we need back on the show because no one else, it seems like people are scared to take the extra skin from Giselle's neck and snatch her up. Giselle can be snatched. But it's like, why is everyone scared of Giselle? That's why I kind of believe, is she a EP? Can she control someone's hiring or firing? Back in the day, people used to think Nene could be like, I want so and so gone, and they would be gone. Does she have that kind of pull with the network over this franchise? I don't know why no one has seen that Giselle is the ringleader of the mess, but she gets her minions to cause the confusion, and she just sits back and be like, mm-hmm, yep, uh-huh, girl. But she started it.
Yeah, that's very true.
And no one calls her out.
I mean, I agree. I think they don't call her out really.
Outside
They'll
of
respond. They'll
Karen
respond
will
to
call her
her.
out.
But the thing about Karen is they're like frenemies. and I feel like they have some sort of agreement to the point where it's kind of like, well, we are not gonna go. Like, we'll take the digs, of course, because it's entertainment. But yeah, Sharice can definitely go.
Yeah.
I agree. Um, but I don't think that they're like at a like it was. How do I explain this? Like, it's because it's not. I don't feel like anything has gone on off camera where they hate each other so bad, because you can tell they have some type of good relationship, because I do remember the reunion where Karen had her breakdown and Giselle did go backstage and she was very supportive.
Mhm.
So it that's probably like the only like gray area, but
I think Karen and Giselle could be friends, but Giselle, like Charisse, is jealous that Karen is the star of the show. Like, people love the Grand Dame, people love Karen, and I feel like every season it's Giselle trying to pull Karen down. Like this season, girl, you lost your license. Girl, you was having sex in the bathroom with whoever. She known around Potomac for getting drunk. Like, it seems like Giselle couldn't wait for somebody to open that door so she could run down all the tea she heard about it too. It's like she's trying to bring Karen down, and if Karen isn't the grand dame, she would like Karen. Her and Karen would be best friends, but because Karen is in the spotlight, it's like, I don't like her. I gotta pull her down because Giselle wants to be in the spotlight, but Giselle, you just ain't got it. You just don't have it.
she doesn't have the what is it, the Shazam that
It's
she possesses.
the it factor. Karen has an it factor where people
Yeah,
just like her. Giselle, you don't have it. And I've said it multiple times. The people that I have found that like Giselle are people who act like Giselle.
yeah, I agree.
Hmm. Now, while I got you on the line real quick, because I don't want to be on here too long, what did you think about the allegations? Do you believe that Karen was having sex in the bathroom?
Absolutely not. I don't believe Karen has partaken in like super sexual acts or anything, or what I'm saying, nothing crazy. I do think that yes, because I do, again, I because I've said this before, and I've had discussions with people about Potomac. I feel as though she might have like a more in-depth off camera agreement with Ray, because she did say at the beginning of the season that um is it okay for her to have eye candy, and
Mm.
I don't think that there is anything wrong with like I mean, I don't know their agreement, but I think if it my how do I explain this, my perception of what I think the agreement might be is that she might go on a little date with someone that she finds, physically great to look at or whatever. And, like they'll go on a date, they'll have fun or whatever, but nothing off the wall, like, oh, I'm going to go back to their house or they're going to come back to our house. And it's this, because that's easy to build a storyline off of. I don't know. I don't think Karen is partaking in any extracurricular activities with any other people besides like just going out and having fun. Because you can do that with
What
friends.
I think the agreement is. I think the agreement is Ray understands he's at a particular age and he probably doesn't, his sex drive might be down. He might not want to perform, and he probably cannot perform the way maybe a 59-year-old or a 49-year-old man could perform. So I believe the agreement, the eye candy, is you can go out and do your thing, just keep our business out the street. So now that everyone wants to flash blue eyes across the screen and want to say Karen was fucking in restrooms and all this other stuff, now you're embarrassing Ray. You're putting your business in the street. And I think Ray doesn't. It's kind of like, I don't care what you do, just don't let me find out about it. I think that's the arrangement.
But that, and I'm glad you gave that speculation, because it made me also just think that Charisse is actually a lot faker than what she comes across as. I say that because I do believe that when you do have a falling out with a friend, or you guys are no longer friends, or whatever the case may be, that you do not divulge their personal business. Even if Karen was doing that, Sharice is still in the wrong, because at the end of the day, you were her friend. So it's kind of like, how do we know that you wouldn't do it to the rest of these ladies?
She would easily, for opportunity to be on this show. Sharice would throw anybody under the bus. But to me, people, because I have plenty of friendships that are no longer friendships, I don't feel the need to blast all of their personal business. To me, people who do that were never your friend.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
They were never your friend. And that's why in my more adult years, I don't tell anybody anything. Like, if it's something that I don't want the streets to ever know, trust, it's locked in my mind only.
Oh, yeah. Taking it to the grave.
To the
Taking it to the grave.
So if I tell you some of my business, trust and believe it's something that I don't mind hitting the streets if we ever were to not be friends again. But it's certain things I've learned the hard way with friends. Take to the effing grave.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't feel like Karen should own up to it, because I believe that's, I'm referring to this comment right here. I believe that's part of the agreement, where you can have the affair, just don't be on TV talking about it, because it's embarrassing to your husband to be like, yeah, I'm 70 some years old and can't hit it and please my wife the way I used to. So she got to go out and have affairs. I feel like Ray know what it is, and just protect yourself, because Ray knows ultimately whatever Karen is doing is just sex. Karen loves Ray.
She does. She does, absolutely. And hold on, let me
And I
reread the
agree. At
comment
this
again.
point, we don't care anymore. At this, y'all since season one have been throwing blue eyes in our face. We don't care anymore. We've heard it. What else you got?
Yeah. We need new storylines. I'm ready for new ladies. Can we get like I need them to bump up to like a solid 8. I would like 8. I need like 2 or 3 to go, and we need some new ladies. I would love to see some new people. Like, I'm all for new people coming onto the show.
So real quick before we sign off, who would you like to go? How many would you like to go, and who?
Um, well, Mia for sure. That's not even. I just think that's a non-negotiable. Um, either either Robyn or Giselle. I don't think they'll ever take both. I know a lot that's ideal for a lot of people, but we can't. We know how Andy and the network is, so we're not even finna go there. But I think one of them could go, even if they do like the network likes them or whatever, but they want them to have an off season. An off season will be good for either one of them, to be honest, so they
Mhm.
can have a new story. So I would say like Mia between the two of them, Giselle and Robyn, and then um, I mean for me it would have to be Ashley.
Really?
I would have to say because she doesn't. Yeah, like she's messy and she can be entertaining sometimes, but Ashley don't really got no story no more after this season.
I mean, we got to see her decorate her new house.
We have to see her decorate her new house. Well, she can be a friend of. She can go on a probationary contract period, and maybe we'll see how if she gets a better story. I hope that Jacqueline gets some kind of higher up role. That's just my opinion. I know you disagree. Um,
If there's no Mia, what's the point of Jacqueline? Because
what?
Jacqueline is not fabulous. Jacqueline does not live behind the gate. Jacqueline is like me being on the show. Nobody wants to see my accountant ass on.
No, nobody. Well, I would love to see you on TV. I think you make great TV.
No one wants to see my middle class life with these ladies pretending to live behind the gate because we don't know how many actually live behind it or not. But nobody wants to see that. I live a very Bell Collective life. You know, that's me. And that was all shade to the ladies of Bell Collective. But anyway,
Bell Collective.
I feel like let's go ahead and fire Robyn
Yeah.
because I want to see Giselle stand on her own.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and fire Mia. A part of me wants to keep Mia just because we know she lies and at least her lies are entertaining. But no, let's just go ahead and fire Robyn. And who else I want to fire is very controversial. But let's go ahead and fire Wendy. Wendy, go ahead and sit up on CNN and sit at John Hopkins and live your best life with your husband and your beautiful kids. Don't let this show ruin it. And Wendy is boring. And I don't want to see Wendy keep chasing up after Giselle shits on you every season after season after season. But you still run up, hey girl, no. So let's let Wendy sit at home with Robyn. I would like for Candace to bring in a real life friend. And
that was something I meant to say earlier too, because and that would be the moment. Her and Jacqueline have been getting cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you haven't seen the video. There was like videos and pictures going down the Twitter timeline about them like hanging out at parties and stuff.
I'd rather her be cool with a scholar because at least a scholar is gonna bring me some fashion to aspire to.
Yeah, Scala is a very, very beautiful lady. I would like to see her.
And forget all of that. Get rid of Robyn. Get rid of Wendy. Charisse was never really on for me, so she ain't really get rid of a bull. She was already gone. She was just showing up in her bad wigs. But let's
And her bad wigs.
And bring back Katie. Bring back Katie and let Candace bring on a friend. And let's see Giselle stand alone. Honestly, I saw a tweet go around and say make the show young again. I wouldn't mind Robyn staying, but one of the two has to go. Get rid of Giselle. Love you, Karen, but go ahead and enjoy your AARP.
Oh, I disagree. I can't agree with you on Karen.
What is Karen bringing to the show but her $130?
Well, the thing is, Karen, people view, when I think of Potomac, I do think of Karen Huger. I do think of the Grand Dame.
And she's the only one that lives in the zip code. I agree. But tell me what part of Karen's life is she bringing to the show outside of these overpriced candles?
These overpriced candles. Well, she does it in her defense. She did put up a 50% off code. So I believe instead of $130, there's $65 now.
I don't even want to pay the $20 for the Bed Bath and Beyond candle. I'm waiting for $9.99. I damn sure ain't paying $65. I don't care what your name is. Karen can go, and Karen would be more attractive to the show if she was able to openly date and get with some younger men, and we could see that. But and I don't want nothing to happen to Ray, but because she still is with Ray, Karen is boring. And she can't outwardly say, I'm like Mia will outwardly say, I'm in an arrangement, I'm doing whatever I want to do with whoever, and G gonna watch, and I'm all that. No, Karen is the Grand Dame, but what is she bringing to the show?
Well, I like her reads. I
do like her reads.
I like her reads, and I feel like
her reads.
If we don't have her and her reads, this is the thing. We need readers and good readers on the show, and the only two good readers.
Giselle, Because when she said, "Girl, you ain't nowhere near an altar," I damn near did the hug. I was like, "Yes, get her, Karen." I do love Karen. I do, but I would love to see a younger. I would love the show to be younger. Ashley and Candace's age. Like, bring on some more people that age, and let's see what's going on in Potomac.
That would be nice to see. But Candace has to stay. Candace just
Giselle
has to
goes to
stay.
bed at 8 o'clock. I don't even go to bed at 8 o'clock. I'm down for a good turn up on vacation. Who goes on vacation and still goes to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock?
The same person. You know what? Let me not even say that because that is so mean. That is.
Giselle is boring. How
I
she's
was.
the face of the show, I don't know.
I was going to. I was. You know, and I ain't even gonna say that because that's so mean. That's very mean.
Well, don't let's not be mean.
I'm not gonna be mean. I am. $65 for a candle is crazy as hell. I mean, at least let it have some type of like I don't know some type of like spell on it, like some money or some love or
It better
something.
have healing powers,
Right.
like some kind of medication that's gonna heal whatever kind of illness is in me if I breathe it. Nobody is paying $65 for a candle, Karen. No. I don't care if Beyonce put her name on it. I'm not paying $65 for a candle.
Well, people will buy Karen's candle before anybody buys anything she by Sheree.
Well, you know our friend loves some She by Sheree. I'm still mad. I'm still mad about that.
She did buy that t-shirt. She, she bought
I
the
hate it every time I
t-shirt.
see it. Every time I see it, I get mad.
She bought that t-shirt.
Don't get me started on that shirt every time I see it.
And she still went off on her.
That drink was good. Okay, I done finished 2 drinks. It's time to sign off. What you want to give before we do this live?
All right. Well, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining again. This was very fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time. If you don't know, I think ain't y'all snowed in Chicago too?
Yes, we are. And you know what though? I'm okay with it. I'm a winter baby anyway. You know my
I'm
birthday's coming
used
up,
to it.
so I'm not
To it.
I'm kind of used to
Used
it.
to it, but I ain't. We're iced in out here in Tennessee, so I got on my.
Oh yeah, in the South they don't play that snow. They don't play that ice.
We
It's
don't play.
it's immediate. We shutting everything down. The kids ain't going to school. Ain't no office buildings open. Everybody working from home today. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
play that.
they don't play. Too bad we work from home anyway, so it ain't like we could be off work. But at least I'm at home. I got on my winter pajamas. I'm chilling.
I know that's right. Should
I'm,
have you. You should have you a cup of tea.
well, I had me some of this good old smoky Tennessee Mountain moonshine in
Oh,
pine flavor.
can
That's what
you
I've been sipping on.
can you said in butter pecan? What kind of flavors they got?
They have every flavor you can imagine. They even have moonshine soaked peaches, moonshine soaked pickles. I think I'm going to try the pickles next. I think I'm going to get the moonshine pickles next. But they have strawberry, any flavor you can think of. This one, I don't know if you ever heard of the drink called a buttery nipple.
A buttery nipple.
A buttery nipple is usually a butterscotch liqueur, a vodka, some kind of Bailey's cream, and then you mix it all together. But you don't have to buy 3 bottles. You can just buy this, and it tastes just like a buttery nipple. I had it over ice. I done already drank about 2 of these, so I'm down for the night.
I feel like you feeling it.
I'm feeling it. I'm having all the fun. I'm about to go see what I can cook for dinner, and then I'm about to get ain't nothing. What come on TV tonight? Nothing. I'm about to see what.
Yeah, Tuesdays is always a good recap day because usually nothing comes on to, like literally. I say if you're gonna do a recap any day of the week, it should always be Tuesday because there is absolutely nothing that comes on
Nothing
Tuesday.
is on television. Robyn gave us a lot of good stuff to read her about tonight. So I said, why not do it? And you can't go nowhere. It's nowhere to go because it's ice all over the street. So
Oh, really? Yes, it's
got
nowhere to
me a
go.
little drink. I'm about to eat because you gotta mellow it out. You gotta have food and liquor. And then I'm about to go on Twitter and see what people talking about on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm about to scroll down the time. I kind of be all over because they got me. Child, they got me in Twitter. They got me running back and forth on Instagram. They done got me drug in the Discord. So I'm I
That's
guess
the
I
only
guess I'm
thing
starting
I
to be
don't know.
popular.
What is the Discord? Everyone talks about the Discord. I don't know what that is.
So it's basically it's kind of a chat. Like you can do a lot of things on Discord. You can have like little like voice channels or whatever, like almost like how we have a call. Obviously this is live, but like um they have like little calls and stuff the same way you could do it on Spaces. You could like just chat. You can stream too. Like some I've gone in Discords and they'll put on a show and we just all like we'll sit there and watch. I stream
It's like Twitch.
it's not like Twitch.
Oh, okay.
It's not like Twitch because Twitch is more. I've only known Twitch to be more centered around like gamers and stuff and who play video games. I know sometimes they might like show a TV show or something, but I know in Discord is almost similar to. Have you ever used the app Slack before?
No.
It's kind of well similar to that. I ain't gonna say it's the exact same thing, but yeah, you could just like you if you ever wanted to, you can make a Discord. I know somebody who know how to set it up better than me because I tried to do it and it.
You know I'm old school. I just BB24 was my first time really learning Twitter. So I'm like kind of new to Twitter and especially Twitter Spaces. So I'm new to all the social media. Like I used to just be a Facebook, Instagram girl, but I'm trying to branch out. But
Oh no, I can't be on Facebook. It's
you know, Facebook
it's
is old school.
Facebook is. I mean, I was around when Facebook was around. Like I was like a teenager, but it stopped. It there was a stopping point for me. Like, and a lot of my friends were also kind of just not bothered with Facebook. Like Facebook is the poster child life. Like you're a goody two shoes on Facebook, and then when you get on Instagram and Twitter, that's where all the real stuff, like the real
That is
personalities
very
is.
true because my Facebook is for family and high school friends, like old school people that I want to keep up with. And I'm a certain way on Facebook and maybe even so Instagram. I'm not as Twitter is Angie.
Well, Twitter is beautiful because it's unhinged. Like
It's
you could say whatever. The
say
tweets are
whatever.
hilarious.
My
When
mama ain't on it, so I ain't got to worry about nobody telling me, girl, your job gonna see this.
and
I,
and when it's like something big going on, like an event or like
it's
some
it,
news breaks out, it goes crazy.
yes, and I love Black Twitter. It took me forever to find back Black Twitter, but Black Twitter is fun. Every event is Twitter is fun.
Twitter is
Facebook
fun.
Facebook is where I keep up with everybody's birthday. Like, oh, it's
Everybody's birthday.
that's where
She
I go find out
said,
who birthday is it today. I ain't missing his birthday, did I? Okay, happy birthday, y'all. Facebook is for that. And then of course Instagram is where I just post my pictures, but Twitter is where I have fun.
she said Facebook is for keeping up with the birthdays.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god, that was so
Because
funny.
my mama and them on Facebook, and I ain't got time for them to be talking about, girl, you said, no. If you want to have fun with me, go to Twitter. If you want to see my glamour shots, go to Instagram. And if you want me to know your birthday, go to Facebook. That's how it is.
All right.
Mhm.
Is there a website for that moonshine I could order that off of?
I don't know, but I've heard that it's not Tennessee only because in another live, somebody in another state was like, girl, we heard of that too. So it's not Tennessee only, but Google old smoky Tennessee moonshine and you probably can find it. And they probably, they ship everything to your house nowadays.
I'm gonna
Everything.
look it up. Hopefully it ain't on Amazon. 'Cause, Amazon kind of irritating, but um,
It could be on Amazon. I agree with Inga. You go to Twitter to laugh and read the mess. I also
Well, I
go to
need to make a Twitter.
Instagram is where I follow all the blogs, and so where I get my hot topics that I want to talk about from Instagram. But I rarely go to Facebook like that either.
and Facebook is, oh hey, my son just graduated this year. Say congratulations.
Let me tell you, Facebook is where you go brag about your kids. Do you know how many people post? You can always tell when it's report card time. Look at my kid with straight A's and look at this G. I mean, like, okay.
The straight A's, the kindergarten graduations.
And I think kindergarten graduation is the dumbest thing ever invented. And fifth grade.
I don't think fifth grade is done because I had a fifth grade one. It wasn't really like a graduation thing. It was more like a ceremony. They did a ceremony for us in fifth grade, and I think that was the only time we had one. Because in eighth grade, they didn't really have a ceremony for us because our class was kind of bad. Like we was really bad. But
Let me tell you this. If you can't pass and graduate kindergarten, parents, check yourselves. Something is wrong. Everybody should be graduating kindergarten. I
yeah,
should sit up in an auditorium and watch 5-year-olds walk the stage and pay for cap and gowns and all of this bullshit for kindergarten.
they have to pay for that.
Yes, I guess because I'm old school.
Uh,
Kindergarten graduation. I don't recall having an elementary school graduation. I remember graduating middle school, which was eighth grade,
yeah.
and high school, and that was it. You might have had a little promotion party in the fifth grade, like, oh, you getting ready to go to middle school, a little promotion celebration, but your family ain't have to pay for cap and gowns and waste 2 hours of their time video recording when we didn't have cell phones back
I
in
would
that day.
say it's the fifth grade transition for me was very easy. They did like their little ceremony stuff with props that the school had already had because apparently it's a tradition at the school, so they already had their little props and stuff. All we really brought for ourselves was like changes of clothes and store bought food because we was going, they get the kids together and we all eating stuff. So it just something simple, like it wasn't like how it is now.
Son had his kindergarten had a whole auditorium graduation situation.
Oh my god.
Now, when he graduated fifth grade, they went to a church and had a whole graduation situation, but we didn't have to pay for cap and gowns, but everybody had to wear like church clothes.
Oh my gosh.
So that wasn't as bad because I didn't have to pay for it. But these kids, like, and then they having kindergarten graduation parties. I'm not buying your child nothing for passing kindergarten. Not my niece, not my nephew, none of them. Don't do that.
Listen, give them like a good $10. They'll be okay.
I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you anything for passing the eighth grade. I will go to a little eighth. I'm lying to myself. I'm not doing that. High school and college are the main ones that you deserve to get something for. Everything else you should pass the 8th grade. Why do
Yeah.
I give you $100?
Yeah, I didn't get I wish I was one of them kids who got paid for getting like every A and B I get, like I get paid for that. I don't get paid that good grades. I was just supposed to have them.
Look, my mama used to offer us $10, $20 for every A and B, and guess what? I still ain't get paid because I got all them C's. So
No, because high school, I had I had the whole alphabet. As long as I had no F, I was okay.
it all to me it's already in the child. It don't matter what you offer a child to get an A, a B, a C. The child is gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Period. And that was me. My sister used to rack up on all the money because she was a straight A student. But my ass used to be like, oh well, this is what I got. What I get for this. Nothing okay. At least I'm not on a punishment. So I don't know. I don't believe in all of that. But you know, this new generation, they love to celebrate every moment.
Throw a little something on the grill.
Right. No,
Oh, my baby just graduated kindergarten. We finna throw a little something on the grill.
no. You can do it all you want to. And I'll come over and eat a little something off the grill, but I'm not going to send no happy graduation cards for me for kindergarten. No. Oh, but this is turning into something that it should not be.
Oh yeah, let me.
You reading down the kindergarten.
I'm sorry. You know I can hold me a conversation. You know I can hold me a
Look, I
conversation.
could talk on this YouTube all day and all night, but that's not what this is for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, Andrew. If you're still there, thank you for coming up and giving your opinions about the situations. I'm about to sign off. Tomorrow, I don't think I have anything for tomorrow, but Thursday is Ostella, where we will talk about the challenge. Friday is the Kamisha Reviews Ready to Love panel. And Saturday, who knows what we're going to talk about, but the weekend is where we talk. So I'm so happy that this Sunday is the last episode of Real Housewives of Potomac
Yeah,
because
because
I'm ready for it to
all
go.
the spring stuff is about to come. Do you not see all this new stuff? They talking about all throughout there. You got you coming back, and then you got what you got Bel Air coming back
Atlanta's
towards.
coming back.
Then they
All is coming back.
Big Brother Canada gonna be on at the beginning of March. Like,
Watching that.
listen, if they put it on Paramount Plus, you better tune on in.
But all the challenge stuff is coming on Paramount Plus. Harlem comes back this Friday night. I enjoy Harlem. It's a lot of stuff getting ready to come back, so it's time for some of this stuff to go off.
Yeah.
SWV and Escape is coming back in March too, and they
I
about to
saw
cut
that.
on Bravo.
You said they about to own Bravo.
They about to cut up Act the Fool.
Wait, that's they're airing that on Bravo?
Yes, it's on Bravo.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought, well, you know what? Candy is so deeply a part of Bravo that it's kind of just like, oh, excuse me, that it's kind of just like if she was to go. But you know what? I don't think because I think they probably got a reasonably good relationship, and everybody know Candy, so it's kind of just like I don't know. I feel like Candy's somebody who can kind of just do what she wants to. But
Candy is somebody who can go ahead and leave Real Housewives of Atlanta needs to fire everybody. It makes no sense in season 15. You have 6 housewives and 16 friends. Like, it's
6 Housewives of 16.
I
That's
don't have
that's
nothing to talk about.
it. Might as well be Love and Hip Hop because
Did you see the picture? It's 6 housewives and like 10 friends. So that's 16 people. You all have nothing to talk about. It's time to fire everybody and start over. Or just let it, can Atlanta rest? I know the people in Atlanta tired of showing up to a restaurant in a mall and it's a camera in their face. Can we let Atlanta rest and maybe find
Yeah.
a city?
Well,
It's
you know, it's
black
you,
cities out there.
well, you know, Atlanta's supposed to be Black Hollywood.
I used to live in Atlanta. It is the black Hollywood, but it's the D list.
Not D. Everybody in they fake purses and fake
People who can
shoes.
afford to stay in LA, stay in LA. People who can't live in Atlanta. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Ah. Okay, let me get off here because
Let's get off of here. I didn't have a little bit too much, and it's about to get real. It's about to be. But thank you, Derek. Thank you, Andrew. You know
No
you're
problem.
welcome any and every time. If you ever want the link, let me know. I'll put it in the chat. But we'll see y'all tomorrow for something else. And if you want me to continue to be shady, you probably will find me on Twitter somewhere tonight.
All right.
All right.
See y'all later.
See you
Yeah.
later. Bye.